Hey everybody, I hope that you're all doing well. We're here with the Timeless reading. Welcome. First card out is Five of Swords, Nine of Pentacles, King of Wands, Emperor, ooh, Six of Cups. All right. I actually want to get three more. So what I'm seeing so far is you being in a space where you feel like you need to be protective of something. This feels like something that you have already with Nine of Pentacles. This can be like, I want to feel, I feel protective of my freedom. I feel protective of my independence because Nine of Pentacles is connected with that. Nine of Pentacles is like your ability to sort of do what you want, when you want, like your needs being met because of sort of the work that you've put in. So it's like what your effort has afforded you, what your effort, opportunity, chances, all of that. Having Five of Swords can be a state where you feel sort of triggered, like I need to make sure that I protect this. Because Five of Swords is this feeling of, like you could feel like you're under attack in some way with Five of Swords, or feeling like, I'm seeing this specifically have something to do with the past where you feel like it could have split you in two in some way and it's something that still hasn't come together. And in the past, when you maybe had something of value or had a sense of independence because of something that happened, you felt like you learned that you needed to watch your back when it came to situations like this. I'm seeing King of Wands here. So this shows you being in a space where you're very capable, you're very willing to get things done, you're very willing to show up and just do what needs to be done. Having Emperor also shows you being focused on the now. It shows you also being focused on the future, what you have going on, where things are going. You could feel like your independence is being challenged, like you could perceive, there could be a perception that you have based off of a past situation that you're in where you're like, I need to protect this, like I worked for this. Whether it be like finances that you worked for and or just your ability to sort of enjoy things in the way that you do. Having Five of Swords is kind of like the bodyguard that's protecting this. Having King of Wands shows like, I did this, I worked for this, I gained this. I'm seeing like an independent streak here where you can feel like you needed to do this for your livelihood. You needed to do this now and also for your future and the type of life that you're trying to build for yourself. And you could have made it a really long way doing things this way, really just looking out for yourself. Because Five of Swords is like, I'm taking care of myself here and the things that matter to me. And can be staying a little bit shut down in the heart space, but to protect yourself and to protect what you have going on. But it may be heavy feeling like that. Some of you connected with your back, I'm seeing. You may have some stuff going on with your back. This may be how you were taught to be. Six of Cups, connected with your roots. You could have been told you need to show up like that in order to keep what you have safe. So you could have seen people ahead of you like modeling this type of sort of strategy where it was like, you take care of your own, you don't worry about anything else, like that type of thing. This is almost feeling kind of militant, which I guess is also, that fits for an Aries energy. We have the Emperor here. So this can be wherever you have Aries in your chart is being connected to, or placements. Yeah. I'm seeing 2 sixes. Okay, we have someone else coming through. This looks like someone from your past. This looks like someone you have shared values with as well. I get like a little bit of a sentimental vibe here, but I'm also seeing something that's feeling challenging. Like you could feel like because of something going on, it could be making it harder for you to do what you need to do. But I'm seeing that rather than shutting down, opening up is going to be the way to go. But when you're going through something difficult, we have a tendency to sort of armor up. And so you can feel almost like there's a part of you that's telling you do one thing and that's how you're going to make it through. But there may be another part of you that's like, that's not the way to do it. And they're sort of working something out. I'm getting stuff about like family tree as well. So maybe you even feel like ancestral things are connected with this. This can be, some of you, I'm seeing something about like family business. And as much as it can be like a literal business, it doesn't have to be. It can be just like stuff that's been passed down. Whether this be like an actual business or it be sort of like the history business of something. Because I'm seeing like roots over here, and that be associated with you being like, I have to go through things in a way where like I'm armored here in the heart space. That's what I see 5 of Swords be connected with, sort of like staying shut down in order to protect yourself. Like if I get too concerned with that other person over there, maybe I'm gonna give them what I have, and then I'm gonna be like left having to fend for myself, because then nobody's looking out for me. So like I learned I always had to look out for myself. Like that kind of business being passed down is what I'm seeing. And I'm seeing that be connected with you. So this feels like the family business. This feels like your own business now that you have going on, and how these two are connected with one another. Like you see the similarities here. It's a tree. This feels like the more zoomed out version of sort of where things have come from, which you can see this as being your past, you can see this as being your history, you can see this as being your childhood, and then this feels like a more zoomed in picture of like the microcosm. Having 5 of Swords be connected with 9 of Wands, this shows that the challenge is not you staying shut down. The challenge is opening your heart. But it can be something that's difficult to do because you're like, well, I was taught to do the opposite of that. Or what I saw modeled for me was the opposite of that. How I was shown to sort of move through a situation like this was the opposite of staying open through this, because I was taught I just needed to look out for myself. But now it's, if you stay shut down, it's actually going to create, you may find that it's created already, a blockage when it comes to what you're trying to do now, like your business now. Because I'm seeing there be like a block, it looks like, or just a block, a challenge, a wall, something like that, where you feel like you have to sort of climb up these steps emotionally, like working through something, understanding where you stand with things, where you were taught to stand, where you actually stand, like those types of things. And feeling like emotionally this is really, really challenging for you. Because what I'm seeing is that you have no issue stepping into the energy of King of Wands, which means something needs to be done, I'll do it. I don't need to wait for anybody. I have no problem initiating. Like that type of stuff where it's like a regimented type of energy, where if something needs to be done, you're going to do it. You trust yourself. You don't need someone to tell you directions. You'll figure it out. It's like that. But when it comes to the emotional stuff, I'm seeing that's where it's a challenge, and it's specifically a challenge with receptivity, which means that somebody may be coming through. For some of you, another person's involved in this. Somebody may be coming through like trying to love you or something like that, or be connected with you, or have some type of relationship or something like that, and you being in a space where you're like, it's really hard for me to get open and to be receptive to that. This feels very much like you being taught how to really lean into your masculine fire energy, but there being like a really big difficulty when it comes to leaning in the direction of your feminine water energy, which is you being emotionally receptive. So this means if you're inspired to do something, you have no problem going and doing the thing, like taking action in that way. But when it comes to sort of like sitting and receiving, especially emotionally, this can also be like intuitively as well. You can feel like this is, but it feels more like with interpersonal situations because I'm seeing Queen of Cups here. Some of you too, now you have somebody from your past coming through. It feels like there are shared values between you and this person. However, it's challenging because of your business, I'm seeing. But the thing is that you may say, like, on one hand, with the Emperor, you have certain stuff that you tend to within your life, but you could feel like it's incomplete maybe without this connection that is now here, or without this emotional receptivity that is now here, without connecting with that part of yourself, potentially connecting with that part of yourself within another person that you see reflected within them. You could feel like sort of your business is incomplete without that. So there are these sort of like conflicting energies where it's like, well, I'm staying shut down because of needing to handle my business in this way, but because I'm shut down, this other thing that I want to integrate into that, I'm cut off from that, and I'm feeling like it doesn't allow me to sort of have the type of business that I want to have. It's like I can't get into this business of mine. It's something like that. I'm seeing business be, I don't have like another word really for it, but it's really just like your stuff that you have going on within your life. Like all of the important stuff that you have going on, the things that matter to you, the things that you're doing, the things that you're involved in, the people that you care about. You could have also been in a situation, for those of you that are really resonating with the energy of the King of Wands, you could have found yourself in a situation with somebody either like in childhood or a family member, or just like somebody from your history where it was like always just challenging emotionally with them, and you may now be seeing that pattern like repeat with either with yourself and or this person now that's coming through. Some of you, this is going to be like all just with you and you. Some of you, it's going to be with you and you and another person, because it's always going to be with you and yourself. However, for some of you, I'm seeing there's also another person that's involved in this that may be sort of playing the other part when really it's all going on within you. However, they're sort of like playing that part to more, I don't know, like symbolically show this to you, sort of like what you're processing through, what you're moving through. The tension that you feel with this person or with this part of yourself, you could have learned that this is just a tumultuous type of relationship. Because if you sat down these two characters like at a table, King of Wands is going to come across potentially kind of like aggressive to Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is going to be like a delicate little flower, and King of Wands is going to be sort of like brash, can be a little bit much, like a little bit intense. you know, like fire and water sort of working with one another. But these are also energies that, like, they're very strong and intense on their own. They're very powerful. And it looks like this is about getting them to work together, which may feel like the biggest challenge here. So this even feels like you having your space, or this part of you having its space and this other part of you having its space, and them not clashing with one another. Like, so both of them can have sort of this shared balance together, like equality within their relationship with one another. But there can be like a wound that's associated with the past. Some of you may not see it as that though, but if you look back at this, if you could sort of track back to the genesis of this, it would be like where you felt like you sort of got split off from yourself, or something was severed. And it's because of like the history of things. And for some of you, it goes back and back and back and back. So this could have been from a really long time ago, but it seems like getting to the bottom of it because it's relevant now. Because it's actually creating some type of challenge for you, sort of like the karmic impact of this. Having Nine of Pentacles, okay, so let me just get into specifics here. With Five of Swords and Six of Cups, there could have been a period of time within your life, and this could also be something like generationally speaking. There could have been a point in time in your life where things were supposed to be easy, sweet, you were supposed to be nurtured, looked out for, all of those things, and instead you were told that you needed to go into survival mode in order to make it through this. So Six of Cups is like a time where it's supposed to be like nostalgic. It's supposed to be a nice time to be able to look back on. And some of you could still look at this time sometimes with nostalgia, sometimes with something else that you're feeling. There can be a bitterness about something. Like, I shouldn't have had to protect myself. There can be like those types of things that you feel, regardless of what this was from. Like, Five of Swords emerges because you don't feel safe in some way. It can be physically, it can be psychologically, it can be like financially, it can be emotionally, mentally. There can be all of these different ways, multiple ways, where during that time, like, you should have been protected or kept safe or nurtured, could have felt neglected. There can be so many different ways that this can show up, but it's something where you had to take care of yourself. You could have felt like at that age or something like that, because we're seeing Six of Cups, like, I shouldn't have had to be doing that. But that's like how you learn to cope with it. It's how you learn to survive through this. And so this could make you like hyper independent, because we're seeing the archetype of Aries here, and we're also seeing Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is about being independent. It's like, I worked for this, now I get to enjoy this, and nobody can check me now, like that type of thing. But then having Six of Pentacles be connected with it, it's like, what about when it comes to sharing though? What about when it comes to a relationship? Like those types of things. So you could be struggling balancing like your independence with what you give when you're in a relationship, have some type of relationship with someone. Now this person may look at you and feel like you rely so much on yourself that you're like not open to connecting with them. Some of you, this can be someone you're like already in some type of relationship with, and this can be like an ongoing theme that you experience. And relationships can really be like anything, just between two energies. So if you're the one that's identified, some of you can be dealing with somebody that's in this space where you feel like you can feel that they want to connect with you emotionally, but because of something from like a long time ago that may not even be a thing any longer, however it's still impacting them, that they're just like emotionally a bit out of touch. It means that they don't really understand their feelings, or they don't process, or they sort of like push it to the back, those types of things, and just like march through. It can be like that type of thing with Aries energy. Definitely get the vibe of like hyper independence with Nine of Pentacles and the Emperor, and also just like everything. I'm seeing 5 of Swords, I'm seeing 9 of Pentacles, 5 of Swords, 9 of Pentacles, King of Wands, and also the Emperor. And so, like, all of these cards are like, I'll do it myself, I'll do it myself, I'll do it myself, like that. But then it's like I'm seeing somebody else come here. And to have it be a Queen of Cups, this is somebody that has the intention of nurturing, that has the like inclination, that has the inspiration to be like healing, to be giving, to be loving. And even though King of Wands may want to receive that, like behind the ego, this would definitely be the ego here, the ego that is protecting may want to receive that, but was taught when I needed that in the past, it was not given to me. And so my walls are so high up that I'm not even going to give you the chance to disappoint me, because that's going to be the same thing happening again. So in a way, like, this is just an adaptive tendency, but it's one that is now blocking one from being able to sort of like realize the bigger picture of their business. So that's what I'm seeing is happening here. So like, regardless of what end you're on, because like you're gonna either identify with King of Wands or Queen of Cups, or both of them. You can feel that these are both your energies. The first step addressing this has to do with the genesis of the armoring and getting to the bottom of that and sort of like unwinding, like detangling that. Can be like the trauma from the experience or whatever one wants to call it. That's going to be the beginning of this. Because we have cups here indicating like there can be like some type of therapeutic working this through, however one sees fit. But I'm seeing that be the thing where it's like if you want to be able to like fully realize your life, your life's purpose, your business, those types of things, to feel a sense of fulfillment emotionally that may be currently lacking to allow somebody in, what needs to first be addressed is, again, like the genesis of that armoring that happened, and sort of like unlearning that, or being like, I'm in the present, I'm like capable now, I'm safe. So one allows themselves to open up and become receptive. Definitely a lot of like psychological maneuvering and shadow work. I do keep seeing 5 of Pentacles, but this is also reminding me of like a 5 of Cups type of energy. Like you could feel that something is like wilting because of this. You can feel like losing hope because of this. Like, is this just a hopeless situation? For some of you, I'm hearing hopeless romantic. It can be like those types of things that you're experiencing. You know what this also reminds me of? The little emoji that's like the wilting heart. Or the wilting flower. It's like a more dark crimson color. This is not a hopeless situation by any means. It's just about how, with the 5 of Swords, it's about how willing one is to mend what had been like broken. But I feel like broken isn't even the right word for it, because it was just an adaptive mental thing that somebody did in order to survive a situation where they felt unsafe. And so like this is how they adapted to it. So it's about like needing to go back and undo the things that would negatively be impacting somebody in the present. So it's about like getting to the bottom of that belief system. of the thought in that belief system, that then like all of this other stuff follows because of that. So that's what's going on. All right. This is going to be the key to one feeling like, okay, I'm really seeing that there's a very good outlook on this. This is going to be the key to one feeling like they're moving more so in the direction of bringing like color back into their life emotionally in a way that they may have convinced themselves isn't important. Like other things are more important, but then feeling not well-rounded, like the soul wanting to connect. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.